Recording in progress.
Well said, Olivia.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a yeah.
Yes.
You're ready, right?
Yes. Yep, it says recording.
Okay. Hey, good evening. My name is Peter Basserman. I'm chairman of Branford Inland Wetland Commission. I will now open a regularly scheduled meeting of the commission. Today is January 22nd. It is now 7 o'clock. This evening's meeting will be conducted as a virtual meeting using the Zoom software conferencing platform. It's being held in accordance with Connecticut's Public Act 22-3 and the Inland Wetlands and Watercourses regulations of the town of Branford. Documents referenced during the meeting are available on the town's OpenGov portal or via the agency's webpage. Final agenda for tonight's meeting was filed January 20th and is posted on the town website. Links to the material related to tonight's meeting are included on the agenda. Branford Community Television is recording this evening, and we are thankful for the service to this community at large. As a reminder, for those speaking at this evening's proceeding, please be conscious of positioning your camera so that your face is visible on the recording. Also, to ensure an accurate and complete record of discussions, each time a statement or comment is made during tonight's meeting, the speaking party must announce his or her name before articulating any comment. This applies to any party wishing to participate, and those wishing to speak can use the raise your hand feature on the Zoom platform to indicate a desire to speak. Once the meeting has begun, please consider muting your microphone if you are not speaking. Just as a reminder, this commission has the responsibility and authority to apply the Connecticut statutes and Branford's inland wetlands and watercourses regulations to matters it considers. The commission's role is limited to the protection, preservation, and regulation of inland wetlands and watercourses and any land use activities that would likely have a significantly adverse impact on those wetlands or watercourses. Commission cannot consider matters outside of those areas defined in our regulations and seeks to apply those regulations consistently and uniformly in its considerations. We'll now take a roll call of the commissioners on the call. When I announce your name, please indicate by saying present. Commissioner Goklowski.
Commissioner Goklowski, present.
I'm losing you. Why am I not? Commissioner Armstrong.
Commissioner Armstrong, present.
Commissioner Begeman.
Commissioner Begeman, present.
Let's see. Is that it for the commissioners? Because I can't see the whole shtick here. Oh, there we go. Commissioner Sotomayor.
Commissioner Sotomayor, here.
All right. We also have staff members Jamie Frederick.
Here.
Olivia Sandberg.
Present.
And Heather Gwinnell.
Here.
Here we go. Okay, I think we have commissioners 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have a quorum. All commissioners are seated and may vote. Does staff, well, before we do the staff changes to the agenda, is there any recusals for this evening in terms of the items on the agenda from any member of the commission? All right, next up, any agenda changes or deletions, Jamie?
Jamie Frederick and the wetland agent. I do request that a commissioner make a motion to move item 5B, 195 Cherry Hill Road, to item 9B, as I did issue a permit pursuant to commission's guidance at the last meeting after reviewing materials that were submitted, and to modify item 8AI to include bond release request.
Any commissioner want to make that motion? All right, I'll make that motion. This is Commissioner Basserman making the motion to move the item suggested by staff to later on in the proceeding. Is there a second?
Commissioner Kowalski.
You get that, Olivia?
Olivia had a double whammy.
I'm not sure who seconded.
We both did. All right, this is Commissioner Sotomayor. I second that motion from Commissioner Basserman.
Okay, any further discussion? We don't need a roll call. We can do a general here, right, Jamie? Or
Quick friendly amendment to also modify 8AI to include bond release request.
that's on that same motion?
Yeah.
That's acceptable to me. How about for you, Commissioner Sotomayor?
Yes, include 8.
Yes, Chairman Basserman, a roll call vote would be ideal.
Ooh, Commissioner Begeman, how do you vote?
Commissioner Begelman, aye.
Commissioner Armstrong?
Sorry, I can't get you on. There you are. Okay, yes, Commissioner Armstrong, aye.
Commissioner Grafowski?
Commissioner Goklowski, aye.
Commissioner Sotomayor?
Commissioner Sotomayor, aye.
Commissioner Basserman, aye. Okay, next up, minutes for approval, January 8th, 2026.
This is Commissioner Goklowski. I make a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting, January 8th, 2026.
This is Commissioner Armstrong, I second.
Any discussion on those minutes? As has been our practice, we'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Armstrong?
Commissioner Armstrong, aye.
Commissioner Sotomayor?
Commissioner Sotomayor, aye.
Commissioner Grafowski?
Commissioner Goklowski, aye.
Commissioner Begeman?
Commissioner Begelman, aye.
Commissioner Basserman, aye. All right, item 4, public hearing, BRIW 251001, Chestnut Street Bridge, number 014001 and 200 Chestnut Street, replacement of Chestnut Street Bridge over to Branford Supply Pond. This is a continuation of the public hearing, and I guess it's a request to extend to the February 12th meeting. Jamie, you've been in contact with the applicant here?
Jamie Frederick, Inland Wetland Agent. I have, so there's been a request for some additional time to provide responses to the questions raised when this was last reviewed by the commission. Also, if you do look at the file record, you will see that there's also correspondence from Commissioner Begeman kind of outlining some of the points from the meeting and making sure that we have answers for those. So they're looking to provide responses and have requested that the item be continued to our next regularly scheduled meeting and have granted consent to an extension to February 12th, 2026. That will be the last extension possible for the public hearing timeframe based on our regular meeting schedule and the statutory requirements. So given the fact that we do not have the materials, in the interest of trying to review a complete application, I would encourage the commission to continue the item to February 12th, 2026. The commission might want to consider the fact that there is another public hearing scheduled for February 12th, 2026, and whether you want to have this public hearing before or after, first or second, as far as the public hearings on the agenda for February 12th.
This is Commissioner Goklowski. We've heard majority of the information, and the only things that need to be addressed is Commissioner Begeman's request for the information, and I'm sure we can probably wrap that up relatively quickly. So I think we should put that first on the agenda rather than last.
Jamie Frederick, Inland Wetland Agent. I will clarify there were some points raised at the meeting, and I think Commissioner Begeman's email kind of surmised some of those points. So I don't know that it's solely restricted to that. So I will say there's two ways the commission has done this in the past. One is you might be able to wrap it up pretty quick and move on to the next one. The other is the other public hearing that's scheduled is a brand new public hearing. Sometimes you want to start it with a fresh set of eyes. So also, if there's members of the public present, it's nice to not make them wait.
Jamie, what has been in the practice? What has been the general practice in the past?
It's a great question and a hard question to answer because we haven't really had this happen much, at least particularly recently. But I would say it wouldn't be abnormal for the commission to put the new public hearing first on the agenda. I think you could go either way though, and it's really your judgment call, and or you can leave it up to the chairman to decide. Sorry, Peter.
I think
I
that was
guess my own Commissioner Bassman, my own, I guess, comment is this will be the first time that we do hear inland wetland 25-6. We had a site walk on this. We know that there's.
I think we want to kind of be careful about how much we're talking about the applications, but sorry.
Okay. We got a fair amount of information to review on that one. And I think the concept of having to do that when we're fresh, as well as the information, to me makes sense. And hopefully, to Commissioner Gokowski's point, upon completing the next item on the agenda, we'll still have enough energy to deal with the current BRIW 25-1001. I personally like the idea of having the next one first.
Okay, this commissioner. I don't have a problem.
Majority rules here.
Well, I don't have a problem with that. I just didn't know what the standard practice was, and you're the chairman, so you have the final say.
Understand, but this is still, I think, a democratic process. So if there's some strong feeling that it makes more sense to do, the one we're currently dealing with, I'm open to that. All right, hearing no strong opinion on putting BRIW 25-1001 first, I'm suggesting that we deal with that second in the public hearing on February 12th, 2026.
So we're continuing
We'll continue that BRIW 25-1001 to February 12th, 2026. Hopefully, we can resolve all the open issues at that point in time.
I will just note for the record that we do not have any members of the public present on the call currently. So I don't believe we're likely to have any public comment.
Okay.
So that's continued.
Next up, application for review, item 5, inland wetland 25-6, 596-612-616 East Main Street. Construction of a rehabilitation hospital and associated driveways, storm drainage, and utilities. This is tabled until, again, the public hearing, which is scheduled for February 12th, 2026. As we noted in the previous meeting, we have a third-party firm that's going to assist, and they're going to be available on the 12th as well. So that item is tabled. Inland wetland 26-1, 195 Cherry Hill Road extension, in-ground pool modification and retaining wall, which is new.
Was moved to item 9B for the motion at the beginning of the meeting.
Okay, right. Application for receipt, none. Enforcement, cease and correct 250502, 175 Cherry Hill Road, Hosley Road, and 167 Cherry Hill Road, failure of erosion and sedimentation control measures in association with site development. This is a continuation of a show cause hearing. Do we have new information, Jamie, on this?
Jamie Frederick and the wetland agent, we do not have any information in regards to the information requested at the last meeting. I have been in correspondence with what I'm going to call the primary party of the cease and correct order. He is working with a new soil scientist, and I indicated that if materials couldn't be ready for this evening's meeting, that I would recommend that the show cause hearing be continued to February 26th, given the meeting workload the commission has for the February 12th meeting. And I indicated that I would not want to see another extension beyond that, because I'd want to make sure that there's time to review everything and for things to be implemented when seasonally appropriate. So I did receive a response from Bruno, and he did request that we continue the item to the February 12th meeting, that he's talked with the soil scientist and agrees that that should give him enough time to provide the response. So it would be my recommendation to continue the show cause hearing. He actually requested to continue to the February 12th meeting, but I would suggest we continue it to the February 26th, because February 12th is full. Beyond full, quite frankly.
Yes. Yeah. I guess Commissioner Basserman, Jamie, have you been out there to determine that we're still not in would not have any concern regarding the erosion or sedimentation for the wetlands?
Jamie Frederick and the wetland agent. I've not been out there recently. When Heather Winnell first came on board, we went out there together. I did request that Heather go out, and she did go out today. So I'll let her maybe give you a quick update in that regard.
Great.
Okay, there we go. Yes, I went out there today. I did walk through the site, basically through all of it. I think that they need to just shore up some of the silt fencing that they do have in place, and this site obviously shows that it has had some erosion issues and that they're trying to attend to it, but there doesn't seem to be any activity at this moment. And so the silt fences that they do have in place, while they've obviously put layers and layers and layers of them, so they need to be reminded to make sure that those layers don't become more of an issue, especially after the rainfall and the runoff that were not rainfall, the snow and the runoff that is going to come. But it doesn't appear that they're doing anything to make it worse. It's sort of stabilized the way that it is right now.
This is Commissioner Basserman. So when you say layers and layers, we're still talking about the fabric erosion controls?
Yes. And when I say layers, I mean there's one, and then there's 20 feet, and another one, and another 20 feet, and another one.
And these are the one, again, Commissioner Basserman, these are the ones by the water course?
No, these are they're
interior to the site.
They're interior on the site.
Okay. Do we have any issues with the water course in terms of sedimentation?
This is Heather Grinnell. Jamie, which are we talking about? The water course in the rear,
You're talking
or
about
toward
the water course down on Cherry Hill Road.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's fine.
That's
That looks good. Yeah, no, that looks good. I thought you were talking about the wetlands behind
the property
where the new swimming pool is.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I would agree that the 26 makes a lot more sense than the 12th. Then, have we gotten back to the applicant Bruno in terms of the change of date?
I have not responded to his last email that came in. So what I will do is if we're going to continue it February 26th, I will follow up and let him and the other parties know that it has been continued to February 26th, given the commission's agenda for the February 12th meeting.
Yeah. This is Commissioner Basserman. Again, the new soil scientist hopefully will be available on the 26th.
Yes, hopefully.
Okay. Other business, inland wetland 170705 250 North Main, retail development associated site improvements phase 2. We have some mitigation monitoring status on 250 North Main Street. This is, I think, something we discussed last meeting as well, no?
Yes, Jamie Frederick and the wetland agent. So the commission reviewed the monitoring status at the last meeting, continued monitoring and management of invasive species, and requested that the property owner submit a request of a bond reduction that could be reviewed by staff. Not really in alignment with our past practice, and there is a mix of cash and surety. So I did want to bring it back to the commission real quick for you to just codify the bond release as appropriate or not appropriate. So again, they had 5 years of monitoring and plantings that the bond initially covered. Commissions decided planting success monitoring is compliant and doesn't need to move forward. So we're just looking at 2 years of invasive species management and reporting on measures taken and general success. So I did prepare a brief memo that kind of outlines the request and my recommendation. The permit holder estimates $21,000 for that monitoring invasive species management for the next 2 years. We have a $51,785 cash bond and a $51,785 surety bond in place. So they're requesting release of the cash bond and that we can keep the full $51,785 surety in place, which exceeds the $21,000 estimate, but prevents them from having to go back and get a new surety bond written up. So given what our current regulations require for bonds, and that erosion controls are the only thing that can't be a surety bond, I think that what they're requesting is in alignment with the regulations. I would just recommend that the commission make a conditional decision that the cash bond can be released upon confirmation, the submission of a continuance certificate for the surety bonds. That way we know that the surety bond is in fact still active prior to release of the cash bond. Any questions or concerns from commissioners?
Jamie, Commissioner Goklowski, what is the expiration date on the current bond that's on file? Do you know?
I believe that it has the continuance letter that we have, I believe, has expired. But that being said, a surety shouldn't be released without authorization from the party that it's in favor of, that it's appropriate to release it. So it should theoretically still be active. I'm just looking for the documentation to confirm it.
Okay. Well, this is Commissioner Goklowski. I don't have any issue as long as they provide a up-to-date surety bond for the amount requested.
This is Commissioner Vasserman. Last meeting, we voted to release the bond based on calculations, and we agreed that the agent would agree with the amounts. So,
well, the tricky thing here is it's the cash
now?
and surety bond, which I didn't take into account, and I want to make sure that you're satisfied with the way.
Oh.
I want to make sure you're okay with this. I've never approved a bond release before, absent of the commission making the decision. So, just to be consistent and make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, that's why it's before you. So, gotcha. I mean,
okay.
Yeah. It's not like that I have any concern with it. It's just I want to make sure we're following our practices.
Right. Okay. And this is Commissioner Basserman again. And I guess last meeting we didn't have the numbers identified
right
in the first paragraph.
You didn't actually approve release of the bond. You just kind of indicated that I could release the bond, which I've never actually done before. So,
gotcha. Is there anything in the regulations that say that this Commissioner Bassman, is there anything in the regulations that say the commission has
Well,
to
that's a
vote
good-
on the release of the bond?
That's a good question, but also I will identify this permit was issued under not the current regulations, but previous regulations. And the previous regulations don't speak to release of the bond at all. So I would say they're silent to it. As far as the new regulations,
I don't think so.
I think it could be open-ended.
Yeah, okay.
So that's something to note moving forward.
Right, for the next go-round with the regs.
I will just, yeah, I'll keep that in mind moving forward.
So, this Commissioner Bassman, the memorandum that we are looking at right now sets the amounts. Is there a motion on the table to addend, if you will, the vote from the last meeting to include this memorandum as the details associated with the release of the bond for 250 North Main Street?
This is Commissioner Gopowski. That sounds like a motion to me, Commissioner Basserman.
Okay, that is a motion. Is there a second?
Commissioner Gopowski, second it.
Any further discussion? Okay, we're going to take a roll call vote. Commissioner Armstrong,
Commissioner Armstrong, aye.
Commissioner Begeman,
Commissioner Begman, aye.
Commissioner Sotomayor,
Commissioner Sotomayor, aye.
Commissioner Gurkowski,
Commissioner Gopowski, aye.
Commissioner Basserman, aye. Okay, hopefully we'll get some good monitoring over the course of the next couple of years, and we can be happy with the progress on 250 North Main Street. Next up, training requirements per Public Act 25-73.
Let me go to screen sharing. So there was a state statute change this year, which does require all commissioners and staff members to take the deep inland wetlands municipal training this year that are currently actively staff or commissioners. So sorry to those of you that have just completed it. And those of you that completed it a couple years ago, you get to have a refresher. So we did throw, Olivia put together a flyer, which is in the Dropbox. You can also just go to the DEEP website, but there's a link on that flyer to the DEEP website. I believe you have 60 days to complete it once you sign up for the course. It's probably about 8 hours of material. It's all online at your own pace, and it just has to be completed before the end of the year. We do request that you send us a copy of, they give you like an informal certificate when you complete the course. Just if you can email that to Olivia or myself, then we can keep track of the fact that you've completed the training, because there's also a reporting requirement where we have to tell the state that we're compliant. Any questions regarding the DEEP training and or the requirement to take the training?
This is Commissioner
This is
Bassman.
Commissioner Sotomayor.
ahead.
Was Olivia going to send out the flyer? I don't think I received it.
It's in the Dropbox, but yeah, she can send it out again. She can send it out directly tomorrow.
That's all right. I'm in the Dropbox now. I think I see it under the trainings folder.
Correct.
Thank you.
Commissioner Basserman, I'm a little concerned not only for those of you who took it recently, but basically those within the state that took the course recently, about whether there was any grandfather time frame. And while there was that bantered around when the law was changed, the statute was changed, there's nothing in writing that says that there's a forgiveness period. So unfortunately, those that took it recently are going to be taking it again. Hopefully, you can buzz through it, given the recent experience that you've already had with it.
Yeah, this is Commissioner Armstrong. I just finished it in October, I think, or whatever. But they told me they were very upfront. They said, you're going to have to do this again come January 1st. So I said, okay, fine. I can still remember it. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. But no, this is very consistent with what they warned us.
Right. But you wouldn't have taken it in October if you knew that.
That's exactly right. I would not have done that.
Oh, that makes sense. All right. Pesticide application, 14 Long Point Road, Miller Pond.
So this is a steep pesticide application per state requirements. A copy is sent to the Inland Wetland Commission for comment. It's in the Dropbox. We usually don't look at them at the meetings, but we can if anyone has any questions. 14 Long Point Road, we coincidentally just had an inland wetland application for, so that might sound familiar. They're looking to do some pesticide application and are pursuing a permit. Any questions, comments, feedback from commissioners?
This is Commissioner Basserman. Do we know who's going to be applying it, Jamie?
Let's see. I believe so the application was put forth by the Pond and Lake. I think it's the Pond and Lake Association.
Okay, that's who filed the permit. We don't yet know who the actual
Pesticide
is.
applicator. I believe it's that company.
Oh,
We do have a pesticide certification number, but we don't have a name.
okay.
But
That was my point. They're certified.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Kyle Waters.
This is Commissioner Begeman. Do they typically don't tell us, or can they tell us what they've tried, what other methods they've tried? This is a 3-year, I think one of them was a 3-year permit. And I mean, does the commission usually get that kind of information, like whether they've tried non-chemical measures first and that's why they're going to chemical?
Jamie Frederick and the wetland agent, no. And I think it's important to keep in mind that this is a state permit and we're provided an opportunity to comment on it. We're not regulating the activity. The commission has discussed in the past whether or not to regulate the application of pesticides, because arguably it could fall within the commission's jurisdiction, and basically has come to the conclusion that DEEP has professionals that are trained in what the various chemicals proposed to be used, what those impacts would be. So our comments usually are, oh, it notes it doesn't have an outfall, but I'm pretty sure that pond does, or I think there is a brackish connection, like things that would help DEEP review the application to know if things that you might know about the site. That being said, I suppose we could put forth that comment. I wouldn't expect an answer back, but if you want, I can put forth that comment. And that at least opens the door for them to consider that there's other options.
This is Commissioner Begeman is just at least putting DEEP on notice that we are wondering, we asking about the fact whether they're going straight to chemicals or whether it's, I mean, I think I don't know where, it says that it's recommended that they try other methods first before going to something like this.
Okay, so the commission's interested in whether other methods were pursued or considered prior to pursuing this permit?
Yeah.
Well, this is Commissioner Bassman. To Commissioner Begeman's point, I mean, if it were to be a local jurisdiction, I think that would be a very germane question for us to ask, and we would hope that DEEP, I guess, would have the same perspective. So,
yeah, I'm assuming that that's going to apply to both.
Yeah.
So I can forward that comment along.
Thank you.
All right, item D, pesticide application, 298 Pine Orchard Road. This is an old chestnut. Torello Pond. How do we label it Torello Pond? Aren't there multiple parties?
That's how the applicant labeled it.
Oh, in the
So
app?
that's simply because that's what they put on the application form.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this one I did have a comment because they identified 2 property owners, but I believe there's 3 property owners of the pond. So I've provided that comment so that they're aware. And I will, again, I'll forward it's the same applicant for both permits. So I will make sure they have that comment and know that it applies to both applications.
Great. And we have a shed that you approved on item 9.
Yep, placement of a pre-constructed shed. And then we have 9B, which was the 195 Cherry Hill Road application that was reviewed at the last meeting, very high level and okayed for agent approval. I got the materials I was looking for and have issued that permit.
Just a question, when you look at sheds and pre-constructed sheds and they're delivered on site, do you review how that shed is being placed, whether, a forklift is doing the job or et cetera, or what?
Kind of depends on the situation. So we're definitely looking at whether or not they're clearing, whether or not they're regrading, whether they're putting it on pavement, adjacent to pavement. So this is actually going on pavement. So I was kind of hesitant. Okay. However, it looks like the pavement was extended without a permit. So it was kind of my way of codifying everything and informing the property owner of the review process.
Okay. Item 10, correspondence. We don't seem to have any correspondence, and it's 7:36. Don't get used to this. Is there a motion to adjourn?
The next one.
Yeah. Bring a sleeping bag. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Commissioner Begman, motion to adjourn.
And a second.
Commissioner Armstrong, a second.
Oh, look at everybody jumping on board.
Yeah, we're all jumping on this one.
everybody.
Good night,
everyone.
All right, good night.
This program was brought to you in part through the support of the Town of Branford. Watch town meetings and other videos on demand at BranfordTV.org.